Hey guys, before we get started on the second half, I just wanted to let you guys know that tonight, Friday night, March 26, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, on our Instagram, which is at Lovely Freaks Podcast, we are going to have a live Q&A. So we hope we see you guys there. Go ahead and enjoy the second part of Israel Keys, and we'll see you guys tonight. Bye. Hey Lovely Freaks, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Amanda.
And I'm Hannah.
And if you're new here, hi, welcome. If you like things strange and unusual and true crime, you can go ahead and hit that follow or subscribe button. You can also head down to the description box and you'll see a link that will take you to our Linktree link. It has all of our social media, Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz.
And all that jazz.
So we're on part 2 of Israel Keys, and hopefully you guys listened to part 1. If you didn't, I highly suggest you go listen to it, because if you didn't, you will be lost and you won't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see part 2, because I want to know what happens.
To see part 2.
To see it.
Yeah.
See the words come out of your mouth.
I can't wait. So we left off with me telling you guys that Israel wanted to make a deal. He wanted to strike a deal, see? Yeah.
Strike a deal, see? After he got kidnapped. Or
you said that
last time. I mean,
after he got into custody.
Kidnapped. Why do I keep thinking kidnapped?
No, he kidnapped people.
Yeah, see?
That's where you're messing up. So yeah, after he got arrested.
Yeah.
He told them where Samantha's body was, and then he was going to tell them, you know, they were like, we're pretty sure that you committed more murders. He said, yeah, and I'll tell you about those, but this was his stipulation. He will tell them where the people are, all the other murders he committed, but the only stipulation he had is that he wants to be put on death row. He doesn't want it to take forever either. He wants to die within a year.
Wow.
Yeah. So he not like you would think, oh, he wants like time off his sentence or something. No, he wants to die. He's done. That's why I said he also said he wanted to go out in like a blaze of glory. And would he have been able to get his gun that day, he would have done that, because he was not willing to stay in jail forever, I guess. Plus death row takes way too freaking long. For some. Some just need to go straight to the...
Yeah,
we just bring back the gallows. Just go straight to the gallows.
Let's just go do it right now.
He also is upset because there's a lot of details that he doesn't want to be public in the trial, because he doesn't want them to affect his daughter's life, which I'm like, well, you should have thought about that.
Yeah, before
you started murdering guy. Police agree, though, and then he tells them... starts telling them all different kinds of stuff. You can listen to his interview, you can listen to his whole thing. He also tells police, like a cocky asshole, if I don't tell you who my victims are, you would have no idea, because all of them are currently on the missing persons list, and you wouldn't suspect them of being murdered.
Honestly, I would just be okay. I mean, he's gonna die. So why does it matter? I'd be like, okay.
He takes days and hours each time to kind of tell investigators about these other murders. It's very cocky and annoying. You can listen to the tapes, like I said, and you hear him the whole time going back and forth. They'll be like, well, did you murder this person that's missing in New York? And he's like, no, not New York. And they're like, well, is there a body buried there? Yeah, there's a body buried there, but that's not where I murdered this person.
Wow.
And it's just what? Just come out and tell. It's very douchey. So anyways, over the next 6 months, police try to piece together his movements. So let's kind of talk about how he would murder, because this part is crazy to me. So FBI finds out that Israel traveled a lot. A lot. He also traveled overseas, which I'm sure he had victims over there, but we don't know. He didn't always kill when he would go to some place, though. what he would do is once he got to the location, he would bury in the ground what he calls a kill kit. That's right, a kill kit. It was a bucket that had a gun, a knife, rope, tarp, etc., like anything you would use to murder. Then he buried it in the ground at different locations. Usually they were in locations like kind of like in certain central areas. So it would be like somewhere in the north, somewhere in the south, east and west. Yeah. So that way it would be at a point where he could get it and then maybe travel somewhere else in like a rental car. And I'll explain that in just a second. So, where am I?
I don't know. Next to me, right here.
Next to me. So yeah, he buried him in the ground in these locations. And he would come back years later to commit the murder.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Years later. Not like a few weeks later, which is actually kind of smart, because if he came back, if they saw that there was someone flying to this place over a bunch of periods of time and then somebody went missing or something, that might put him on police's radar. But he would come back several years later. He also didn't always murder in the state that he had the kill kit at. Sometimes if, for example, he had let's say wanted a kill kit in New York, he would go to New York, get the kill kit, dig it up. Mm-hmm. Then he would travel, get a rental car and travel thousands of miles, like to Oklahoma from New York, to kill someone in Oklahoma.
Wow, that's committed.
Commitment. Israel, that is why I said this dude. Yeah. If you wanted to kill like him, you'd have to work at it.
He must be on cocaine or something.
I don't know. I know he's not.
Never sleep.
He wasn't on any drugs. I think he probably, if I remember seeing something correctly, he would tell his girlfriend he's going on a job because he's a construction worker, so he could be gone for weeks at a time.
Yeah, I bet they were thinking he was cheating or something. But no, he was murdering someone.
Israel. Sorry. I want to say something, but I can't. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Israel tells police he would always pick someone at random when he gets to where he wanted to kill people, wherever, what state or city he wanted to kill. Yeah. He said he would sit in the woods and wait for hours till someone who was alone came along the path and then just attack him. So it was literally random. Yeah. He would also pick houses. He said that the houses had to have an attached garage because he didn't want to have to move the body from the house to an unattached garage where he had to go outside and maybe be caught by a neighbor. Yeah. Smart.
He's smart.
Big boy brains, but a douchebag. So it kind of sucks. Or really sucks. He had some stipulations. These are his guidelines, I guess you could say. He wouldn't murder kids or mothers with kids. So if he went to a house and he saw that there were
nice guy.
I know, right? We're so glad you have morals. So he would if he went to a house and he looked through the window or whatever, if he saw kids running around or a mom with a baby or whatever, he wouldn't murder those people. He would just move on to the next one. He also liked dogs, and also dogs he wouldn't kill, and he wouldn't go to a house
that has dogs.
Yeah, because it would also make too much noise.
Wow. Oh, I just thought, they're two good boys. They can't have their owners dying.
Such a good boy.
But he also member of the family.
He also liked dogs, and he said he would never kill a dog or something like that, which doesn't make any sense because people say that he did torture animals back in the day, but I don't know, when he was younger. But I don't know if maybe that was
squirrels or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But that's still not okay, but still.
Yeah, I like how we were squirrels, whatever.
Squirrels, whatever.
He still didn't have an MO, though, even though he didn't kill mothers and kids, because he would kill old men, old women, younger men, younger women. It didn't matter your race. It mattered your age to a certain extent, but, Samantha was 18, so to me, she's still a baby. He was proud of the fact that he didn't have an MO because he said that was what kept him from getting caught. One of the things he didn't liked talking about, and even in the interviews, he didn't like talking about the fact that he sexually assaulted all of his victims, even the male ones. And when the sexual assault on men or necrophilia, because he did do some necrophilia, when that would come up, in like the questioning and stuff, he would get like really uncomfortable. Oh, we're so sorry. Is that uncomfortable for you?
Is that an uncomfortable question, sweetie? Do you want me to not ask that?
Police try to tell him that it's okay, like none of this small stuff, or none of this, not small, but none of this other stuff will come up in the death penalty trial, because he didn't want his daughter to find out that he did necrophilia and that he sexually assaulted men.
I think she's still not going to like you because you murder people.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to be like, oh, murder? It's fine, I still love my dad.
You know, he
sexual assault, I draw the line.
Exactly.
Like, I'm pretty sure it's not going to matter. So anyways, obviously they were lying about that because the information was going to get out. But whatever. He finally tells them that he can close a double missing person case out of Vermont. This case was a couple that vanished from their home. They were named Bill and Lorraine. Lorraine worked with her sister-in-law, and one day in June, she didn't show up for work. Well, her sister-in-law decided that was like super weird because she always shows up. She's always on time. Mm-hmm. So she calls her brother. Her brother also didn't show up for work. When she finds this out, she decides to go to their home. So the sister-in-law gets to Bill and Lorraine's home. And once there, she notices that the car is missing and the front door is locked. However, she does see that the garage window is broken. And at this point, she calls 911. So the police don't find any like evidence at all. There's no fingerprints anywhere. There's nothing like that. Mm-hmm. So they know that they don't know where the couple is. So this case kind of like goes cold. The FBI calls the police in Vermont, and they're like, hey, we got a guy up here in Alaska, of all places, way far away from you guys, who says that he murdered Bill and Lorraine. So he tells them that their bodies are in an old abandoned farmhouse about 2 miles from where Bill and Lorraine's house is. And that's where their bodies are. Like, you can go there and get them. So Israel says that he picked their house that night because he noticed that the window in the garage was broken. So apparently the window was already broken before he even got there, and they just didn't fix the window yet. Which sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to quote Morbid podcast, fresh air is for dead people. So let's fix windows and shut windows and lock them. Okay. Yeah. It really sucks. So he crawls through the window. He wakes them up at gunpoint. He then ties them up and puts them into their own vehicle and drives out to this creepy ass abandoned farmhouse. It reminds me of, not the picture because I haven't seen a picture of it, but just the thought of this, like him describing it, reminds me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like that type of,
like
vibe.
Really abandoned
vibe. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty awful. When he's there, he leaves the wife in the car. He then takes the husband down to the basement. And then he comes back to get the wife, Lorraine. And she has kind of like fought her way to get free. But obviously it was to no avail. He grabs her, takes her down to the basement. He then he takes her down to the basement. He shoots her husband in the head in front of her. And then he sexually assaults her and ends up raping her and kills her. He wraps their bodies in a tarp and leaves them. I think she was like on the second level of the house and he was in the basement or something like that. Now fast forward to when the police go to find their bodies. Because remember, he said this is where they are. So they're driving down there, going to the abandoned farmhouse. And guess what happens? Like, you'll never guess.
What?
So when they get to the farmhouse, they find out that it has been demolished. Yeah.
Wow.
So And the demolition crew that tore the house down, they said, oh yeah, while we were tearing that house down, we smelled a foul smell, but we just thought it was like dead animals or something living inside. Yeah, so...
You didn't think to kind of investigate if you smell that stuff? Like...
So the bones of the victims, unfortunately, are sitting in a landfill somewhere because they tore the house down, gathered all the debris up, and then sent it off to a landfill. And I think they tried to go to some of the landfills around the area, but it was, I mean, that'd be like virtually, they'd be like looking through a needle through a haystack. A needle in a haystack. Yeah.
For so countries.
I know. A
needle
in a haystack. Boy, I tell you there, that's a crazy shit. All of our people overseas are dying right now. Okay. Anyways, the police obviously still believe Israel because, I mean, he knew a lot of details that nobody else would know. And this wasn't like a high-profile case all over the news or anything like that. Like, this was just some little couple that went missing in this town. So it wasn't something that was broadcasted everywhere. He also told them that one of his kill buckets was buried 2 miles from their house. He gave hints about 8 different murders in his confession, but like I said, we think that there's possibly 37 that were
actually murdered.
Murdered. So this is the shitty part, though. In December 2012, Israel Keys is found dead in his cell. So he killed himself.
He really did.
He really did. He slit his wrist with a blade. He got, somehow, I don't know how he got it. I don't know if he got it from, like,
an inmate or something.
You know, an inmate or something. And they told, so, like, they knew that he was kind of suicidal. Yeah. Which I was kind of sitting there thinking, why didn't you put him on, what's it called? Like, suicidal watch. Yeah. And he had to be, like, in a, oh my gosh. I almost said incubation. I don't know what the hell.
That has, like, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So anyways, I don't know why they didn't put him in a room like that with, like, padded walls and stuff. So anyways, he got the blade. He slit his wrist, but he wasn't dying from that. I guess he went across the street instead of down. What a dumbass. Mm-hmm. So he then hung himself with a bed sheet from his bed. So yeah, we don't know about the rest of those people.
Wow. And I guess his word means nothing. Because he struck a deal with these people and gave them his word to them. And he was just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah. I think it was all getting, like, too much for him as far as, like,
getting back into the murder.
Thinking about his daughter finding out about this.
Yeah.
Which I'm just like, dude, if you didn't want your daughter, like, first of all, don't have a kid. If you're like, you know what, I think I'll be a murderer. Like, just don't get somebody pregnant. I don't know what to tell you. So, the cash...
Or stop murdering while you have your child.
A few things I will say, like, the cash that he got in his kill kits, that he would put in his kill kits, he actually robbed banks in the area. That was another thing I thought was kind of weird. Like, how did they not... I guess robbing a bank and a missing person is, like, 2 totally separate things, but... He would rob a bank, and it would be, like, just once in one area, and it wouldn't be, like, a lot of money, like, millions of dollars. It would just be enough for him to, like, stash.
Yeah.
And then he would go on.
I don't think... Is there a lot of murders where there's, like, bank robbings
I don't know.
At the same time?
I mean, probably.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
He only used, like, mostly cash, of course, and then... he would use a map to, like, because I was thinking, how did he remember where those kill kits were? Because they were buried in, like, random ass spots, like in the middle of nowhere in the woods. But he would use a map, and he would, like, plot it on the map so that way he could go back and look at it and find his way. Because remember, he was in the army, so they teach you how to, like, survive in the woods and shit like that in the military. He was obsessed with Ted Bundy and true crime. And horror movies. I'm not a murderer, I swear to God.
Yeah. I'm not a murderer, I swear.
We're not serial killers, so please don't think that. All my family's like, what? He was what? Sounds a lot like a Hannah and Amanda. Just saying. But yeah, no, he was obsessed. He would like read true crime novels and like true crime investigation stuff. He would also watch like a bunch of horror movies. But he was like in love with Ted Bundy, and he tried to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not idolize. He did idolize him, but he tried to like make his murders kind of similar to his.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Is what he said. Of course, we don't know because we don't know how the other murders went.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
so that's the only murder that he really talked about? God, can I talk today?
Talked about the Samantha, Bill and Lorraine, and then there was another one. Her name was Deborah. Miss Deborah. They pretty much confirmed it. She was a missing person in New Jersey. So what they said was, did you have a kill kit in New York? And he was like, yeah. And so they said, okay, well, are there remains buried in New York? And he was like, no, not New York. They were like, well, there was a missing person in New Jersey. This is her. He showed her he showed them the picture of Deborah. Mm-hmm. And he got really like weird. And he said no at first, but then later on he came back and said yes. And I'm just like, dude, at this point you're caught. You want to die anyways. Yeah. Can you just like let us have it, please? Yeah. Can you not be an asshole? Can you and that's what the police kept telling him. They were like, we're just trying to get closure to the families that you have destroyed. So I would have been pissed. I would have beat a corpse that day if I found him in his cell. Exactly. I would have been like, are you serious? I would have been freaking so asshole. Mad because I'm sitting there as a police officer trying to get closure to these families, and you're like killing yourself and going down with all that information. Like it's just bullshit. He did say
they could have found the bodies.
Yeah,
of those people.
He did say one thing which I laughed hardcore at this. He said that the only serial killer he ever thought that was stupid and like dumb and sloppy and all that was BTK.
I mean, yeah. Obviously.
I was like, same. So yeah, he said that by looking at all the true crime too, also, he was able to like plan the perfect murder and like get away with it.
I mean, I could plan a perfect murder, but that'd be too much trouble. And also, I don't think I can barely murder a fly.
That was Hannah. Hannah said that, not Amanda.
Yeah.
Hannah said that.
I can barely murder a fly without having some kind of guilt.
Yeah. So yeah, he also said that, oh gosh, what was I going to say? Shoot.
He said
you made me lose my train of thought. BTLK?
Or
it's not a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
BTLK? He made a sandwich before he murdered people?
A BLT? You're off today.
I know. My brain's gone.
It's gone. I don't know. I'll come back to it. I don't remember. He had a plan. His long-term plan was this is really fucked up, was to follow, so since he was a contractor, he was going to follow natural disasters. So if like a hurricane was going to hit a town, he would go to that town before the hurricane hit. The hurricane would hit, maybe people's shit would be messed up, maybe some people were missing because they were, dead, but the people that, then he was going to like kidnap someone and make people think that that person was just missing from the hurricane. Or missing from the tornado.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, wow, take them while they're in devastation. That's great. You're awesome.
Asshole.
He's already an asshole, but yeah. But people that knew him, like I said, said that he was not like... people also said it was super hard to like make him mad. Like people would even try to like, if you're like hanging out with some guy, try picking at him, you'd be like, dude, you never get mad. And he's like, yeah, I don't ever get mad, bro. And it's like, wow. He's a murderer.
That's so scary.
That is really scary to think about. Yeah.
It could be anyone. We could just like walk into Walmart and it could be just like the nicest guy. And he's like a serial killer. Mm-hmm. Could be your neighbor.
I can't believe... So that's pretty much it on Israel Keys. Now we're just going to like kind of talk and ramble. But I can't believe that he had the just talk about patience. Like, to just bury a kill kit and then come back 2 years later, dig up the kill kit, let's say from like Texas, and then drive to California, get a rental car, drive to California, murder someone, and then drop the rental car off and then get a flight home. It's just like, what?
And then have all that time.
Yeah, well, like I said, his girlfriend probably thought he was... That's the only thing I can think. I couldn't find anywhere in my stuff, like, whether,
she was suspicious.
She was suspicious or not. Now, at one point, they did get her car because the first, what was it? They saw his car somewhere, or they saw a car somewhere. I don't remember where it was, but they got her car because they thought that he was using her car, and they thought that, then they started questioning her. But, I mean, and he got mad, and he was like, you don't need to question her, you know, leave her alone, blah, 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 which she didn't know anything. But it's still like, you still put her in that situation, so maybe just get over it. And maybe you shouldn't have put her in that situation.
You shouldn't have killed people.
I mean, they're going to ask her. Now, I don't know anything about his daughter. I couldn't find any information on her name, nothing. She probably changed her name if I had to take a guess. This was in 2012, so this wasn't too long ago.
Which, if we did, I don't think I would want to tell him the daughter's name.
No, I mean, I don't even care either. But
name, because, I mean, it's not their fault.
Yeah, the girlfriend, I couldn't find anything out about her. So that's what I'm saying. That's good that the girlfriend and the daughter aren't, you know, in any of the articles that I read. So, yeah, I just wish I knew what made him.
Yeah, we didn't get any information.
I was wondering if maybe he was, had like a split personality disorder. Because a psychologist or psychiatrist, neither one never like got into that part where someone was interviewing him.
Well,
because he did say, like, I have a normal side. I have like,
but he wouldn't remember.
I have like a
but he would have blacked out and not remembered if he had that personality.
Split personality, yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't have remembered.
I mean, he had details. Something, obviously.
Yeah,
but schizophrenia, like, probably. I don't know. It's just crazy. So, yeah.
He probably doesn't have bipolar because he doesn't get angry easily. So, probably not. Probably schizophrenia, if I had to guess.
We are not licensed psychologists. We're just rambling here.
We're just guessing.
We're just discussing. So, yeah. Pretty crazy. But that is Israel Keys. This one is shorter. But we hope that you guys enjoyed it. And we wanted to do a shorter one for you guys for Friday. So that way you can get ready for our Q&A tonight. So if you're listening to this Friday, March 27th, yes, go ahead and go to our Instagram, and there should be the time that I've posted. This is not Friday for us, but I will post it before Friday. I'll post what time. And it should be around 7:30. So you can go on our Instagram and you can see what time we'll be on, and all that stuff will be on our Instagram. Like I said, it's in the description box, so please go to it and get on there. And then we want to do a Q&A. And if we don't have a lot of people, I feel like we're going to have like 5.
I say like 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
It's going to be, one of them's going to be our mom.
Yeah.
What's your hobby?
What's your hobby?
Like, you don't know.
What's your favorite color? So anyways, no. I want to do a Q&A, and of course, if you can't make it to this one, we'll do another one. I mean, this won't be the only one we'll do, because if we only have like 10 people, you know.
That's fine.
We'll have to do another one eventually. But yeah, next week, I want to do nothing but aliens next week. So I don't know if we'll do a Tuesday episode. I kind of want to do a Tuesday and Friday again, but I want to do like 2 different alien stories. We haven't done a lot of aliens, and we haven't done aliens in a while. Like the last one I think was Travis Walton.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe we'll do. I really want to get into Egypt and all the conspiracy theories behind aliens on that, but that's it's gonna be a long one.
But that would be so interesting.
It could be a 2-parter though. It could be an alien 2-parter.
Yeah, we should do it.
Or just like aliens Egypt and then aliens maybe somewhere else. I don't know. It's super interesting, you guys. If you guys have any stories, please send them our way. We really want to do listener stories because, I don't know, it just seems like a lot of fun. And that'll kind of give us something also. It'll give us a break when we want to, like, well, we can't think of anything. Not that we can't think of anything, but when we're, because I don't want to keep doing serial killers over and over and stuff like that, even though this is a true crime podcast. But we also talk about aliens and monsters ghosts and all that stuff. Because, So you guys send us some listener stories. You can also send it to our email, and I'll have that link down below. But our email address is lovelyfreaks89@gmail.com. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Do you have anything to add to this craziness of this man? I can't believe that I haven't heard a lot about him, which I'm sure he'll come up more. I mean, this was 2012. So, this wasn't 20 years ago. So I'm sure he'll come up more as time goes on and more people talk about him. So, all right, guys. Well, we will talk to you guys later. Go like our Instagram. Go follow us so you'll be ready for Friday. All right. See you guys later. Bye.